ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैर्वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। श्रीमद् भगवद्गीता अध्याय 13 श्लोका 26। यावत् संजायते किंचित् सत्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ। In previous two shlokas, Bhagavan revealed various sadhanas all these sadhanas are directly or indirectly meant for Atma Jnana. Some of the sadhanas lead to the Atma Jnana directly, whereas certain other sadhanas lead to the Atma Jnana indirectly. Therefore, the ultimate goal of all the sadhanas is to get Atma Jnana, because the direct means for moksha is nothing but Atma Jnana, self-knowledge. Therefore, once again, Bhagavan is emphasizing the importance of Atma Jnana in the pursuit of moksha. Why Atma Jnana alone is the way to moksha? The answer is the cause of samsara is ajnana, ignorance, and the ignorance can be removed only by means of jnana, knowledge. This idea is being conveyed in following two shlokas. See the verse. He Bharatarshabha, Bharatarshabha is an epithet of Arjuna. Bharatanam Rishabha Bharatarshabha. Rishabha literally means a bull. In this context, bull implies the great one. The great one among the descendants of Bharata. Therefore, Arjuna is called Bharatarshabha. He Bharatarshabha, in this shloka, Bhagavan says, Ajnana is samsara karana. How Ajnana becomes samsara karana? By mixing up kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra and kshetrajna are different in nature. What is kshetra? Kshetra is anatma, non-self. Kshetra includes our body, mind, senses, all these things. Whereas kshetrajna is the Atma, the self. Among these two, kshetrajna is our swarupa, our true nature. Kshetra is external to our true nature. Moreover, kshetrajna is a satya, real, whereas kshetra is mithya, unreal. Kshetrajna is infinite, ananta, whereas kshetra is finite, limited. Kshetrajna is chaitanya, kshetra is jada, insentient. Therefore, kshetra and kshetrajna are mutually opposite in nature. Yet, the avidya, the ignorance, mixes them together in such a way that we don't know the difference between kshetra and kshetrajna. Instead, we identify the kshetra itself as the kshetrajna. That is why all our transactions, in all our transactions, we are identifying the kshetra as the kshetrajna. The anatma is identified as the atma. What causes this? Avidya, ignorance. And such ignorance is universal. If anybody in the world, any jiva that is subject to birth, any jiva that is subject to a worldly life, which includes birth, growth, death, etc., is not free from the ignorance. Therefore, Bhagavan does not leave any jiva behind. Therefore, he says, Yavat kinchit, any jiva in this world, any individual in this world who is born, sanjayate, what kind of jiva? Sthavara jangamam sattvam. Any sattva. Sattva means a being, an individual, which is born. Sthavara jangamam. The sattva, the being, can be either sthavara or jangama, moving or non-moving. Moving are the animals, including human beings. And jangamam means the moving beings, including human beings as well as animals. Sthavar means the non-moving creatures, trees, etc. By including the sthavara, Bhagavan has indicated that even the plants have life. The scientists came to know this very recently, maybe 200 or 300 years back. But our Shastras knew this much before. Even in the Upanishad, this fact has been clearly stated. If you look into Chandogya Upanishad chapter 6, there is a statement, Jiva petam vavakilam mriyate na jivo mriyate, giving the example of a tree. Uddalaka tells Shvetaketi, the tree has life, and when the life goes away from any part of the tree, that part of the tree becomes dead. This example is given in Chandogya Upanishad. Therefore, our Shastras knew very well that even plants have life. That is why Krishna includes a sthavara also. Even the non-moving creatures are included. Sthavara jangamam sattvam, any being, any plant, any animal or any human being, sanjayate, is born. Birth implies samsara. If anybody is born, that means he has to undergo a series of samsara. Birth is a part of samsara. Birth includes so many other problems: old age, death, everything is included. Therefore, sanjayate implies samsara. What is the cause of samsara? Bhagavan says, tat kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat vidhi. Tat, the samsara, which includes birth, etc., is because of a mix-up between kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat. A confusion between kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra kshetrajna aviveka. Kshetra kshetrajna sanyoga means kshetra kshetrajna aviveka. Mixing up between kshetra and kshetrajna, and thereby identifying the kshetra as the kshetrajna. Kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat. Tat vidhi. Understand so. Understand that the problem of samsara is caused by the mix-up between kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra kshetrajna sanyoga or kshetra kshetrajna aviveka is responsible for samsara. Therefore, the solution is kshetra kshetrajna viveka, understanding the difference between kshetra and kshetrajna, being aware of the difference between kshetra and kshetrajna, which is called kshetra kshetrajna viveka or kshetra kshetrajna vibhaga. Distinction between kshetra and kshetrajna. It is the solution, and it is the topic of chapter 13. Chapter 13 is called kshetra kshetrajna vibhaga yoga. Vibhaga is opposite of sanyoga. Sanyoga means association. Vibhaga means distinction, separation, segregation. And the jnana is in the form of kshetra kshetrajna vibhaga. Jnana involves understanding the difference between kshetra and kshetrajna. Shloka 27. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthantam parameshwaram vinashyatsva vinashyantam yah pashyati sa pashyati. Now Bhagavan is giving the solution to the problem of samsara. It is the knowledge of the true nature of the kshetrajna as distinct from the kshetra, the body. In this shloka, Bhagavan describes how the kshetrajna atma is different from the kshetra, the anatma, the body. See the shloka. Sarveshu bhuteshu, all the bhutas. Here the word bhuta means that which originates. What originates? Our body. Bhavanti iti bhutani. That which has an origin is called bhuta, referring to our bodies, our upadhis. There are many upadhis. I have an upadhi which you are able to see on the screen, and you all have one upadhi each, which I am able to see, at least a few of them, 4 or 5. Others I am not able to see. I don't know what they are doing also. All of us have the upadhis, and the upadhis are called bhuta. In all the upadhis, there is the kshetrajna. How many kshetrajnas are there? Kshetrajna is only one. Upadhis are many. Kshetrajna is only one. Same kshetrajna, same atma is present in all upadhis. Whether the upadhi is in India or America, same kshetrajna is present. Now, in this shloka, Bhagavan has described the upadhi also to show the contrast between upadhi and kshetrajna. Sarveshu bhuteshu, the bhutas are described. Vinashyatsu, bhutas are vinashyat. They are subject to destruction. Vinashi, bhutas are vinashina. They are subject to destruction. Whereas the Atma is avinashi, as Krishna himself has told in chapter 2. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam. Same idea is conveyed here. Avinashyantam. Atma is avinashyanta. Avinashyan means he is not subject to destruction. Eternal. Bhutas are time bound. Body is time bound. Whereas Atma is eternal. This is one important contrast between Kshetra and Kshetrajna. The word Bhuta stands for Kshetra. Vinashyatsu bhuteshu. Vinashyatsu sarveshu bhuteshu. All beings, all upadhis which are subject to destruction, which are subject to disappearance, in all of them the same Kshetrajna is there. And what is the Kshetrajna? How is the Kshetrajna? What is the nature of the Kshetrajna? It is being described samam. Kshetrajna is sama. The opposite of sama is vishama. The kshetras are vishama. The upadhis are vishama. No two bodies are alike. That is why our biometrics are different. Fingerprint is different. Photographs, facial appearance is different. No two upadhis are absolutely same. And there is other differences also. Some are small, some are big, some are more refined than the other, more sophisticated than the other, some are grosser than the other. Thus, there is vishamata in the upadhi. There is unevenness, inequality with respect to the upadhi. Whereas the kshetrajna is samam, means no differences. Uniform. since there is no difference in Kshetrajna, he is uniform in everything. No difference whatsoever. Samam. Tishthantam. Tishthantam is another description of the Kshetrajna. According to the Vyakhyana, Tishthantam means aparinaminam. Kshetrajna is aparinami, free from modification, whereas the Kshetra is subject to modification. This is another contrast. The first contrast between Kshetra and Kshetrajna was Kshetrajna is avinashi. Kshetra is subject to vinasha, destruction. This is contrast number 1. Vinashi versus avinashi. Second contrast, which was mentioned in samam by the word samam, indicated by the word samam, is sama versus vishama. Kshetrajna is sama, free from differences, free from unevenness, whereas Kshetra is vishama. It has differences, ups and gradations. Some are lower, some are higher. Gradations are there. It is vishama. Unevenness is vishama. It is another contrast. Sama versus vishama. And a third contrast, which is indicated in the shloka between Kshetra and Kshetrajna, is indicated by Tishthantam. Tishthantam means aparinami, not subject to modification, not subject to changes, whereas Kshetra is parinami, subject to all forms of modifications. Aparinami versus parinami. How many? Third. It is third one. Parameshwaram. Kshetrajna is Parameshwara, the ultimate Ishvara. This implies another contrast. According to Madhusudana Saraswati, the Kshetras have Badhya Badhaka Bhava. Badhya Badhaka Bhava means one Kshetra will dominate over the other. One Kshetra will rule over the other. One Kshetra may trouble other. Therefore, in terms of the Kshetra, in terms of the Upadhi, all the beings have dominated dominator relation. In some way, some people are dominated. In some way, the same people are dominators over the others. It is true with almost everyone. Consider ourselves. With respect to some lower upadhis, we become dominators. We dominate over them. we control them. For example, the pet, any other animal, cows, etc. You dominate over them. You control them, tie them with the chain or rope, etc. Whereas there are some other upadhis. Your boss dominates over you. Supposing you are the ultimate boss in your company and you think nobody else is dominating you, it is not true. Somebody else is dominating. May not be a human being, but the devatas dominate. That is why sometimes we become helpless, because certain devatas are dominating over us by giving some trouble. Something goes wrong. Some natural problems happen, like a cyclone, earthquake, etc. What does it mean? Devatas are dominating over us. Therefore, in every upadhi in this world, there is a badhya badhaka bhava. With respect to some other upadhi, it dominates, whereas it is dominated by certain other upadhis. Therefore, the multitude of jivas, are subject to domination by some other beings, whereas the kshetrajna is free from badhya badhaka bhava. Because there is nothing superior to kshetrajna. Since there is nothing superior to kshetrajna, kshetrajna is not dominated by anybody else. He is free from being subject to domination, free from being subject to subjugation by any other force. Therefore, absolutely independent. That is why absolute freedom is possible only in kshetrajna. As long as we are with the kshetra, as long as we identify with the kshetra, we can never be absolutely free. We can never be absolutely independent. It is implied by the adjective of the kshetrajna, Parameshwaram. Kshetrajna is the Parameshwara. He is not subject to anybody's control, not subject to anybody's rule, not subject to anybody's domination. Such a Parameshwara, Kshetrajna, Yaha Pashyati one who understands such a kshetrajna. How does he understand? Shastracharyopadesham anupashyati. With the help of the Shastra, with the help of the Upadesha from an Acharya, from a Guru, with the teaching of a Guru, with the grace of a Guru. The teachings of a Guru can work only if the Guru blesses the Shishya wholeheartedly. And it is possible only when the Shishya has done seva to the Guru. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Do namaskara to the Guru. Do seva to the Guru. Only then he receives the blessings of the Guru as well as Guru Parampara, and then he becomes awake to the Kshetrajna. The true nature of the Kshetrajna as described in the Shastra. I am the Kshetrajna. It is his understanding. I am not the Kshetra. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the senses. Body, mind, and senses are not associated with me in reality. Body, mind, and senses are mithya, unreal. Therefore, I am not associated with them. There is no sanyoga between, there is no association between me and the Kshetra. I am the Kshetrajna, the Atma, the Chaitanya, as described in the Shastra. He gets this understanding. It is described, Yaha Pashyati, he sees. To see means to understand clearly. Sometimes when we understand clearly, we say, I am able to see. Pashyati does not mean a visual perception here. Pashyati means clear understanding. Saha Pashyati, one who understands so, he really understands. Means his understanding alone is correct. Whereas, as long as we identify ourselves as the Kshetra, as the body, or as confined to the body, our vision is not correct. We have a distorted vision of ourselves. We have a confused vision of ourselves. Shloka 28. Samam pashyan hi sarvatra sarvatra. Samavasthitamishwaram nahi nastyatmanatmanam tato yati parangatim. Bhagavan states the phala, the result of the Atmajnana, which was described in previous shloka. There is a he in this shloka. He means yasmat, since. He indicates that this shloka is associated with the previous shloka as a justification of the idea stated in the previous shloka. In the previous shloka, Krishna said, Saha Pashyati, one who has this understanding, his understanding is correct. It was told in the previous shloka. Now, why only that understanding is correct? Because he means because such understanding alone gives moksha. That is why the understanding stated in Shloka 27 is the right vision, the right understanding. It is the right understanding because sarvatra samam samavasthitam ishwaram pashyan. One who is aware of the Ishvara, the Paramatma, who is present equally everywhere, sarvatra, in everything, in every upadhi, samam samavasthitam, he is equally present, samam, without any differences. He is present in every upadhi. Ishwaram, that kind of Ishvara. Here Ishvara refers to Kshetrajna, Atma. Pashyan, being aware of such Atma, being aware of such Kshetrajna. Atmana atmanam na hinasti. He does not destroy himself by himself. This requires a background. The Upanishad describes an ajnani as the one who destroys his own self. Third mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad. असुर्यानामते लोकाः अन्धेन तमसावृताः ताग्स्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये केचात्महनो जनाः. This mantra describes an ajnani who decides to remain an ajnani. Such a person is referred. There are two types of ajnanis. One type of ajnani is trying to get rid of his ajnana. He tries to get rid of his ignorance. That is why he is attending Bhagavadgita classes. He is making some effort. Some sadhana. I should not remain an ajnani. I should get rid of this ajnana. Therefore, I should do some sadhana. There are such people. It is fine. But then there are other ajnanis. They choose to remain ajnanis. Atmajnana vimukhaha. They have moved away from Atmajnana. They are not interested in anything related to Adhyatma. Anything related to sadhana does not appeal to them. As soon as you start speaking about Bhagavad-gita, they will run away from you. There are such people. The Upanishad refers to such people as Atmahanaha. They destroy their own self. Atma is their own self, their own true nature. They have as though destroyed their own true self. Because even though the Atma is present, Atma is very much present in everyone, yet they have chosen to be ignorant of the Atma. Therefore, the Atma is as good as absent for those people. Therefore, they are not going to get the phala of the Atma. They are not going to get the benefit of the Atma. That is why such people are called Atmahanaha. They have destroyed their self. Now, how to be free from being a self-destroyer? It is to get the vision of the Atma, get the knowledge of the Atma. Therefore, Bhagavan says, when someone has attained such jnana, when somebody is aware of such Atma, then he is no longer a destroyer of the Atma. Atmana Atmanam na hinasti. Atmana by himself, voluntarily. Atmanam, his own self, his own Atma na hinasti. He does not destroy. Instead, he is fully aware of the presence of the Atma. Therefore, the Atma is very much present for him. And not only the Atma is very much present, he is benefiting, he is receiving all the benefit of being aware of the Atma. Therefore, in order to be free from being a destroyer of the Atma, one should work for Atma Jnana. If we do not work for Atma Jnana, it is as good as we are destroying our own self. Meaning, it is a great loss. Being born as a human being, if one does not make effort to know the Atma, it is a great loss. One life is wasted. And not only one life is wasted, one great opportunity is wasted. We don't know when again we will get a similar opportunity to pursue the Atma Jnana. Because if this human life is lost, we don't know when again we are going to get another human life. Therefore, one should not lose the opportunity. One should not miss the opportunity. Na hinastyatmanatmanam. A jnani does not destroy his Atma, which implies he makes the best use of his life. He has made his life meaningful. Tato yati param gatim. Not only he has made his life meaningful, tataha, because of the jnana, on account of the jnana, param gatim yati, he attains the ultimate goal. He attains the ultimate goal of life, which is moksha. He becomes muktaha. He becomes free from samsara. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.